What's up, everyone? The Field General, Superflex, Underdog. Gentlemen, schedule is released here in 4 days. Can't wait for that to actually know where these bye weeks are going to land, which is wild. We're doing all these drafts early, but you know what? We're degenerates. We love fantasy. We like making money, and this is a spot. So we have Jake in here. What's going on, man? How you been? Sorry I'm a little late. I was on the phone with Mr. Mike Campbell. Some of you guys may know him from the Discord and the streams here and there. He doesn't tune in very often. He's old. He goes to bed before the stream start typically, but he's in the Dynasty League. He has some Dynasty questions for me. So I was just catching up with him a little bit, and I don't want to be rude, so a couple minutes late, no big deal. Let me know who wants to hop in on the draft. We'll start it up together so you guys can get in. Probably doing 2 drafts tonight. If Mouse in here, we're doing 2. I did promise him 2 yesterday because I got off a little early last night. Anytime you see a stream less than 2.5 hours on this show, you know it's usually an early night, a rare night for us. So a little bit of news notes I want to talk about. I forget if I talked about this the last couple of days, but Anthony Richardson apparently is not 100% healthy from that eye injury. And just what a wild career for Anthony Richardson, man. Like, just not going well. And he's not healthy from the fucking workout band injury he had. My God, what's going on here?
What's happening here?
That French animal bit my ear off!
Well, that's an absurd exaggeration. My apologies, Bidwell.
He look in our tent. He look at my woman. He saw her breast.
Her breast? You saw her breast?
I've said it before and I said it again. Any man who look on her will die.
We got Dakota in here. We got Jake in here. YouTube will let me know Rob's going live in 30 minutes, but will not let me know when the stream starts. Yeah, I don't understand what happens there. Did you show the pic of the van? Shit, I forgot about the van pic. I did not upload that. I have to upload that for next stream. Mr. Free Throw, it's the Field General, Derek. So I'm going to show you right now, if you just watch the screen here. So you want to go to games. So I'm going to go to home. You go to games, and then you'll see all the sports here. We're going to go to NFL, and then it is the Field General, a $3. This is Superflex. So check the settings. I'll help you through it before the draft. We want to do the Field General. You click on that. Make sure it's on 20 seconds per pick when we all click on it, because it's 8 hours per pick is a separate draft. That's a slow draft. And then we can all do it together. So anyway, Blake, I'm definitely going to put the van pictures up here, which were just awesome in the Discord. Also, if you're not in the Discord, not in the community, what are you doing? Join it, because these people are awesome. The community is awesome. The Discord's fun as fuck. Give it 1 minute, Jake. I'll give Dakota's in here. Jake's down. Free Throw is down. So that's my wife tuning in to see my lovely face in here. Miss Simmons, which is cool. She took my name. A lot of people thought I'd be a cuck and take her name. Nah, not so fast. She took mine. Thanks, babe. I told her to like the stream since I'm using my other phone. My normal iPhone just fucking acting up. Bunch of green lines on the screen, so I didn't want that to happen during the stream. So thanks, babe. So we'll start up here in a second. Let me know. Anyone else in here want to draft with us? Let me know. Dakota, are you down? If you want to join one, again, be our guinea pig and let me know how many and if we should join it. I appreciate that. I want to make sure everyone, as many people as possible, get in the draft we're in. Miss Simmons has a lot of names. She does have a lot of names. See what I call her in the bedroom. Sharma wants to join. Okay, so if you want to join, the Field General. So just wait for us to give the countdown, and then, or just wait for Dakota. When Dakota says like 9 in there, Sunday Thunder. Okay, we're gonna join because Mr. Free throws, and we're joining. 6 more to start. So everyone join. Here we go. The Field General, guys. It is a $3 tournament. Join now if you want to hop in this draft. I see 45 people in here. The Field General, $3 draft, Underdog, Superflex. Hop in now. Draft with us. We do draft grades at the end of every stream. I got 3 more, Dakota. This is right, correct? Yeah, I think you might have sent that too late. I'm in the right one, right? Pretty sure this is the right one. Field General. Make sure that's the right one. That is the right one. Yeah. All right. 3 more to start. We're good, right, Dakota? 3 more to start on your end? Okay, cool. So we're all in here. 3 more to start. Whoever wants to hop in, hop on in and draft with us. We'll do draft grades at the end of the show. Typically, I only do draft grades for community members, but, I'm feeling pretty spry tonight, so maybe I'll give some other draft grades out as well. It's not just me. It's the entire chat. We'll give draft grades. We'll talk about each team, where everyone fucked up, where we hit it big, and who has the best chance to win. Or in this type of tournament, it's whoever has best chance to advance. Got to advance before you win, gentlemen. Here we go. I have the 5th pick. Dakota has the 2nd pick. Peanut Punch is in here, 4th pick. We have Sunday Thunder. He have the 9th pick. We have Jake with the 12th pick. So this is pretty stacked here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people I know in here. Peanut Punch is listening in, and he is right next to me, and he's just going to take I got to be careful with my cue now because Peanut Punch is going to take my guys. Just like Peanut Tillman took the ball from everyone else with the Peanut Punch. He's going to take my guys. So please don't do that if you could. Try to create content, but also trying to win some money. Ooh, look at that cold, hard statement here from Peanut. I could just like and dip. Whatever you want to do, my man. I just don't want some people to take Blake Corum, and it's no secret I love Blake Corum. Let's go to the board here. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson in that order. Typical stuff here. Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm going to most likely get Joe Burrow unless someone takes Joe Burrow here. We're going to get Joe Burrow. I'm fine with that. Yeah, Blake, not only was he defending Hurts, he got real heated. And, Storey is great at that. Where, like, Ray is always heated, but, like, when Storey gets heated, he's passionate about it, and it means something to him. Where Ray will just get heated for, I'm not saying no reason, but, it hits harder when Storey gets heated, if that makes sense. All right. Drake May at 8. A little early for that, but he must love him some Drake May. T. Cheney. I think that's Dick Cheney's son. Also shot someone in a hunting accident. Yeah, Storey hates Ty Simpson. That is his nemesis. And speaking of Jalen Hurts, he goes at number 9 to Sunday. That would be Derek. Shout out to Derek, a fanatic in the Patreon. Also in the Dynasty League, which is starting up here in 10 days. Blake is officially in. I had to talk him into it. Gonna be a good time. I had to, we couldn't have the major first community league that's Dynasty with all the big guns without Blake, who is the media manager in the channel that does a lot for us. Very active in the chat and in the Discord. We need you in this, Blake. This is the league of league where anyone that's anyone is in that league. Sorry if you're not in there. It doesn't mean you're nobody, but anyone that's anyone major is in that league in the Dynasty startup. But we're still gonna have 6 other redrafts, guys. So hop in the community now. They're filling up, and the drafts will all be in August. We'll figure it out. All different price points, all different settings. I'll be in I think I'll be in every one of them, as well as Storey and Ray and Nico, and I don't know how many they're gonna do, but you'll be playing against me. I just want to preface it. I'm not really a best ball guy. I love these, but I make my money in redraft. JSN, Saquon Barkley. There are still some pretty nice quarterbacks available, and I am up in 1 pick, and Jackson Dart just fell into my lap. I might want to take Darts. Yeah, we're going to take Jackson Dart. And that'll be it. Let's see. God, Neighbors Falls, huh? Kenneth Walker. Goes Brock Purdy. Bijan James Cook's pretty nice start. Josh Allen, Bo Nix for the first team. Does he triple up is the question. Because I already doubled up. I really don't need quarterback, but, I mean, Patrick Mahomes sitting there. I will just go ahead and take Patty Mahomes and be done with it. I doubt he falls because Peanut Punch is available. It doesn't have a quarterback, so he'll take him, and I'll take Kenneth Walker. So we're going to go ahead and take Kenneth Walker, the Tiny Dancer. God, Mahomes at 28. Fucking guy, he goes running back. It's Mahomes at 28. That is just a glorious start for him. Could not draw it up any better in that scenario. I actually kind of happy he did that because I would have been forced to take Mahomes, and I don't like going quarterback. Is just kind of pigeonholed your team a little bit into not taking value at quarterback later for your third guy if it falls. The sixth pick here has Chase, St. Brown, and Jefferson. Pretty murderer's row there, but you know, all those quarterbacks are gone, so he's not gonna be able to stack with any of those receivers he took. They're not gonna be stacked. I don't like it. I want running backs. I want running backs over receivers in this format early, and I don't like it. There goes Jeremiah Love. Derek has Hurts, Matt Stafford, and Saquon Barkley. So I like the Hurts Barkley thing. He's going all in the Eagles. Blake, it's 18 rounds. Typically, this is 20 rounds, but most of them, the one quarterback ones, are 18 rounds. There's no free agents. There's no trades. There's nothing. Once you draft your team, it's done. That's why you can do 200 of these, 300 of these, whatever. It's just, it sets the lineup accordingly. So it's typically one quarterback, two running backs, three receivers, a flex, and a tight end. And of those positions, it sets the optimal lineup every week. So if you have three quarterbacks, the highest scoring quarterback gets in your quarterback spot. For flex, it goes between running back, tight end, and wide receiver. Whatever's left over that's not in your starting lineup goes to flex. So roster construction is probably one of the biggest things where, in redraft, I don't really care about roster construction. I will take I'll take my fourth receiver over my second running back sometimes. I'll take do stuff like that, where in best ball, like roster construction, you have to make you have to make a weakness a strength. If you go wide receiver, you're going to have to give up on wide receiver for a while. It's all about balance. We're up here, and Breece Hall is available. I don't hate that. Let's take Breece Hall. A little early. It's a little distracted. My bad. And then we're sitting with Joe Burrow and Jackson Dart. So T. Higgins will probably be the pick. It's going to be really early on T. Higgins, but I'm going to need a stack with my dude. Is there any way he makes it back to me? 68. There is a chance. Very unlikely. Just setting the queue up. And there goes Trey McBride. That is correct, Blake. So it's no, once you draft it, it's over. You can't do anything about the team. You can look at the per week scoring and all those kind of things, but there's no stress. But unfortunately, you're at the mercy of injuries and stuff like that. It can wreck your team. There's no coming back from a team that's wrecked on injuries. If you take two quarterbacks in a one quarterback league and they both get hurt, good fucking luck. I'm just gonna take best play. Fuck it. I'm gonna reach on T. Higgins. I don't like it, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get players that correlate with your quarterbacks. So in these big tournaments, if you don't stack, there's no way to win. There's just because there's gonna be so many combinations of every single player, and if you don't have stacks with your quarterbacks, like you're just not going to beat teams that do have that. Colson Love wins. All right, up in 10 picks. Here we go.
I'd like to start out this press conference with a thank you to John Fox.
Thank you, John Elway. What a smart guy he is. Hell of a quarterback. Reluctant to Peyton Manning, though. You take away that Peyton Manning run he had when they won the Super Bowl, it's been a bad job being the GM there. All right, up in 4 picks. Let's look at the squad so far. Dart. I have Burrow, Dart, Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, and T. Higgins. T. Higgins is going to be gone. So I need Isaiah Likely, Zay Flowers. Fucking A. Cam Scatabo just goes. That's lovely, dude. Whatever. We're just going to take Zay Flowers, I guess. I don't love it. A couple quarterbacks are still available. Shit. Should have taken Garrett Wilson. Derek lost connection. I mean, I would take Stafford over Jordan Love. I know Blake's hating to hear that, but I do love Jordan Love this year, but give me Stafford over Jordan Love. So that's probably a good thing. It's not like you had a stack with it. So not the worst thing, Derek, that you got Stafford over Jordan Love. There goes Price. There goes Garrett Wilson. All these guys have 3 quarterbacks in front of me. And, okay, we're going to get a 3rd quarterback here, most likely. That's some pretty decent value, either Mendoza or Geno Smith. So I'm going to probably go Geno Smith over Mendoza, as gross as that sounds. I just don't have that much confidence in Mendoza for fantasy year 1 and the fact he might not play the first 5 weeks. Give me Geno Smith over him. There we go. So now we're done at quarterback. Pretty nice quarterback room. A little lacking at wide receiver for sure. But it's a warm and fuzzy feeling knowing you have pretty good. You have Lamar. My bad. See, I can't keep up with all this, guys. I'm talking. I'm drafting. My bad. I should have taken Garrett Wilson, and on the chance that I got Geno Smith back, but it's hard to host and do all this stuff. So that I made a mistake there. I will trade you. I would trade you if you had Garrett Wilson. I would trade you. There's no trades. I should have taken Garrett Wilson and got the Geno Smith thing. I didn't think Geno Smith was falling back to me, but that was a mistake. Guess what? I fucked myself too. So guess what, Dakota? I just screwed myself too because I would have had Garrett Wilson and Geno Smith, which is what I should have done. I can promise you, I have none of those things have been intentional. I have a hard enough time managing. You saw what happened when Ray was doing the stream. He wasn't even hosting the stream. He was on the stream, and he got auto-drafted like 4 picks. So I can't think that far ahead in terms of what you guys have. So, yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense for me to take him. That was I should have taken Garrett Wilson for sure because I wanted to take Geno Smith. I just didn't think Geno Smith was going to be there. And yeah, I actually have Garrett Wilson ranked higher than Zay Flowers. So what a bad mistake there on my end. We'll see. I do like Zay Flowers. I do think Zay Flowers will have more spike weeks than Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's a higher floor play with the targets. But Zay Flowers has those 3 or 4 games where, it's not even touchdowns. He just has those those 140-yard receiving games with 1 touchdown, which is 22 points. 24 points. Okay. No. A lot of goodies available here. We still have Ramondre Stevenson available. If someone has Trevor Lawrence, I apologize. They don't. He went back here. I didn't do that, though. I did not do that, Mr. Free Throw. Quote the great movie Seven, where he's like, there's a dead dog over there. I didn't do that. I knew you'd do that. I wanted the Marvin Harrison pick, but I took Brian Thomas instead. I feel like they're both interchangeable. Marvin probably has a higher floor. What build are you on? My build, I have. Well, my build actually only has. Whoops. Let me go back to the board here. It's not a bad build. I need some correlation with Jackson Darts. There's nothing really to take. We're good. We're going to get Corum or RJ Harvey or Manungai. Like that. My favorite player to draft, Mr. Blake Corum. You think it's a weird build, Dakota? Taking a couple weird picks, but I'll stack with my guys later. Jackson Dart will have to be stacked with some bums. I guess I have to have Isaiah Likely on this team. Where does Isaiah Likely go? Pretty late. Pick 141. Can definitely get him with the 12th pick. Maybe I reach on Isaiah Likely here. See how the board looks. Kyle Manungai, that's a nice pick. Jacoby Brissett at 81 is pretty nice, Derek. You're just not stacking and reaching. Well, there's no one to stack with Jackson Dart, right? Geno Smith, there's no one to stack until later. And I took T. Higgins, so I have one stack. Stay in your lane, Dakota. Stay in your lane. What do you want me to do? I'm confident my team will grade out just fine. I think so. Maybe. There goes Harold Fannin at 110. We love Harold Fannin around here. I'm getting a little soft on Harold Fannin, though, with all the guys they brought in. And that shit quarterback situation they have there. So, Isaiah Likely is way down the list here. Team J, what's going on, man? I'm not judging you. No one I like here. Nobody I like there. So, let's take Kyle Pitts, another fucking unstacked player. I hate that. Now, if I took Mark Andrews, you could sue me because that would be, you need Mark Andrews. I think you're going to have to take Mark Andrews this next pick because I don't think he's going to come all the way back around. And I might have to take Isaiah Likely with this next pick. Fucking hate it. Man, I wish I had taken Garrett Wilson. That would have changed everything. How you doing, Jay? There goes Kittle. Edison. What do you mean by dynasty, Jay? Is this a dynasty? Nice pick, Dakota. Nice pick. I'm going to have to do the same kind of reach. I think. Definitely have to take Likely here. Not a fan of it. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So Pitts, likely, Higgins, Flowers, Brian Thomas. No, this is just an underdog best ball draft, just best ball. Luckily, our dynasty league we're doing, the community league, is going to be a slow draft, which I feel like all dynasty drafts should be slow drafts because they're so in depth. All right, halfway home here, gentlemen. Halfway home. Feeling good tonight. Feeling pretty good.
How would you describe it?
I don't even know how to feel right now. I'm like, I don't even know. I'm happy.
He's very happy. Keldrick Folk is very, very happy. And here goes the tight ends. We have Harold Fannin, Ferguson, Gatson, Goddard all in that range. Draft grade should be fun. If Mouth gets in here, we will do a second draft. I did promise him, and there he is. There he is right there. So we'll do a second draft. I did promise Mouth regardless. We'll do a second draft tonight. So I wasn't going to do it unless Mouth came in. So all good, Mouth. We'll do another one after this, man. Just for you. By the way, guys, if you are new to the program, you check out the website, professionalfanatics.com. Also check out Downtown Sports Boys. Link in the description. 23 platforms. They're on YouTube now as well. So just search Downtown Sports wherever you find your podcast. 1 or 2 shows a week there, but more real life driven. They're doing a lot of NBA playoff stuff. I'm sure they'll have a show about the NBA lottery, which happened tonight. Which, hey, my hometown Bulls got the 4th pick, which is pretty nice. A couple teams got screwed. I think we all know that the NFL or NBA lottery is the most rigged thing in sports. Super rigged. Oh, this is a good pick. Let's go ahead and take Tyrone Tracy. And other than that, it gets real gross. Running back's good. Wide receiver is not. And I'm looking for correlating pieces, and there's not a lot of them. So this might have to be an Omar Cooper team. Boy, I did not like Omar Cooper, but got to do what you got to do. Yeah, well, the Wizards have been bad for, I don't know, my entire life. So could be a chance. The Wizards have a chance. Trae Young's not very good at basketball, but he's better than getting him for free, right? He's a former, number 2 overall pick, number 3 overall pick. He was taken ahead of Luka, right? So number 2 overall pick. So, yeah, they have a good chance. It's just like Trae Young isn't great, and AD is just never healthy. But if they're all playing, I like some of the other guys they have on their team as well. So they have a nice little roster. Alex Sarr, that's the guy. I love Alex Sarr. Very versatile, very, very athletic, big with a J. Yeah, a lot of young talent mixed with the 2 veterans, like you mentioned, and the number 1 pick. So if I was them, I would debate trade not a 1 in this year's class. I haven't done too much research, but from what I hear, there's not a consensus 1. There's like 4 to 6 elite players. So if you trade out, think of if a team falls in love with one of these guys. I know it's like not a thing that NBA teams really do that often, but if you can get like another couple firsts to trade back to 6 and still get a top 6 guy, which I think this draft is 6 or 7 deep, because they don't really have a need. Like, they're not a team that has like a need at point guard or a need at big. They could take best player available. You take whoever falls you at 6. If you get another pick, and if you swap with somebody, right, that team is going to stay in the lottery most likely. There you go. Or move down to 3 and get Boozer. A lot of options. The nice thing is they have all the chips, right? So they can do whatever they please. And you know what? The Wizards have suffered long enough. The Wizards fans have suffered long enough. They have a pretty loyal fan base for how shitty of a team they are. So I'd really hope that they can get out of the depths of hell.
When we get back to the world, we gotta put together that 3-piece combo band we talked about.
Me on stand-up bass.
Johnny on the drums. and me tickling the ivories.
All right, up in 4 picks. I better hunker down here. We need wide receiver, gentlemen. Couple decent guys on the board. No one that really correlates. Well, there's one guy that really correlates right here. He's not going to fall back to me. It's Kenyon Sadiq. That would be lovely. That would be lovely. Enjoy fucking Jules. Jalen Coker also would be lovely. And there goes Sadiq. So cool. Cool. We'll just take the best player available again, which is not a good player for my team. This is just not my finest hour. Nick Singleton's already off the board. Fuck me, man. Kenyon Sadiq, 1 pick ahead of me, and I have Geno Smith. 1 pick, boys. That one's going to sting a little bit. That's going to sting a little bit. I should sing about it. Nets had they were the best chance, right? It was 3 teams that had the best chance of the number 1 pick, top pick, and the Nets has one of them, and they got the 6th pick. So I know the kid from Arkansas is supposed to be really good. The Kansas kid as well. Pacers did get fucked, right? They had top 5 protected, whatever it was, and they ended up getting that, so they had to give it to the Clippers. I have a feeling I'm going to get destroyed on this draft from you guys. Hey, I got good quarterbacks. And Jalen Naylor. This is disgusting. Here it is. Guy I'm really warming to, Mr. Dylan Sampson. You know why? Because I want to talk to fucking Sampson.
I want to talk to Samson. Fly me to the moon like that bitch Alice Cram.
Running back room is complete. I am rolling with these 5 guys. Nice little running back room. We need some correlation with Joe Burrow and with Jackson Darts. I literally have 1, 1, and 1 with all my quarterbacks. So not as stacked as I'd like. But there's a couple options, guys. Couple options. I mean, they kind of did tank, but they were screwed either way, and they just said, why wouldn't they? They should have, though, because that was rough, man. It was Siakam, and it was nothing else on that team. You know what? The best move they ever did, though, got rid of Miles Turner, because Miles Turner's terrible. What a bad year Miles Turner had for the Bucks. There were so many games where Giannis missed, and Miles Turner would go out there and have 9 points and 3 rebounds, just sitting on the 3-point line, bricking threes and having 3 rebounds. I never understood Miles Turner, elite shot blocker, and just can't get a rebound. Him and who the hell am I thinking of? Dude on the Pelicans. Sorry, yeah, the Pelicans. Is it the Pelicans? Really good defender, shoots a lot of threes. JJ, Triple J, Jaren Jackson. Guys can't rebound. They're fucking 6'10". They get 3 to 5 rebounds a game. All right, up in 3 picks. We need receiver and tight ends. And if there's another running back I like, I will take them. But there is not. So we're going to go ahead and just try to get some upside here. Njoku. Just going to take some shots on some dudes here. Brandon Ayuk. Probably a commander. Yeah, sorry. I don't know why I said he was in the Grizzlies. Yeah, now he's in the Jazz. And that was the perfect trade, right? They trade for him and they shut him down. They shut down Jaren Jackson the rest of the year. Always hurt too. But you know what? The Jazz also have a pretty stacked roster. If they can keep if they can keep Markkanen. Pretty stacked roster. Now they have the number 2 pick, right? Number 2 or 3. So really stacked roster there in Utah. They've been trying to lose forever. They're one of the main reasons they're trying to talk about changing the tanking rules because they've been doing it for 3 years now. I guess Washington's been doing it for 10 years, but it hasn't helped Washington at all. Here goes Ferguson. God, is there anyone that I could even take that correlates here? Super rough. Oh, super rough, man. John Wall made so much money doing nothing with the Rockets and wherever else he was. Was it the Suns maybe? I know the Rockets he played like no games. Jake Tungus. I'm just kind of just making picks. I feel like it's just you're warming up to draft with me. Well, what's funny is my wife finally started doing drafts on her account, and I did 2 drafts by the fire outside right before this. And we actually had pretty good teams where we kind of do it together. But at this time of year, she's just not up to date on where guys have moved and everything. And so I mostly do them. And we had good teams. So I don't need to warm up. It's my 3rd draft technically in the last 2 hours. We'll get it. Sometimes it just doesn't fall. The cookie doesn't crumble your way, I guess is the saying. Terrible saying, but I just use it.
Jeez, Peter, you're more excited than Adrian Peterson at an arboretum.
Daddy, what kind of tree is that?
Man, I want to beat you with so many things around here.
John Wall was probably Derrick Rose was the most athletic I've ever seen in the modern generation. But I think John Wall was the fastest guy free throw line to free throw line I've ever seen. And being able to finish at full speed, like soft layups at full speed. And John Wall was also 6'4", 6'5", right? A lot taller than Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook's. I need to have that same level of focus right now, Mouth, because Dakota's giving me a hard time, and I did take Zay Flowers away from him when I should have just taken Garrett Wilson. That was a silly pick, and I apologize. It was not the goal. I wasn't trying to do that, man. Gross. I fucking hate this team. So who the fuck do I even need, dude? None of these guys. These are bad quarterbacks to stack. Certain quarterbacks just suck to stack, and these are just rough ones. So it's gonna have to be Malachi Fields. I guess I'll take Yoshi with the last pick. Yeah, Westbrook was as well. And he was stronger than John Wall. That was the difference. John Wall was, not saying John Wall was a finesse player, but Mouse says I'm literally planning 7 or 8 rounds ahead when I'm picking in round 2. Is that normal? Insane? It's definitely not normal, and it's definitely insane. I like to do somewhat like that. I think sometimes you pigeonhole yourself, and then not saying you in general, but when you do those things, it can lead itself to getting a little cute, right? And then you miss out on some value on the board. I did not do that in this draft. I did not plan 7 or 8 rounds ahead. And I also hate this phone I'm using. My main phone is having issues. My actual phone I use that has services is my podcast phone. It's an old Android. No excuses. I'm just a little distracted tonight. Just some bad picks. Sometimes they can't all be winners now, can they? Derek's been sniped 5 or 6 times. Name of the game. At least we weren't sniping you because, as you know, if I get sniped by anyone, I get pissed. But definitely if I get sniped by a rando, when Jake first joined, he was sniping me. But now I come to realize he just loves those players. So we see eye to eye a lot. Me and Jake are spirit animals. So we just love Blake Corum and Woody Marks. Yeah, I hate it. My iPhone is just I like the upside of Androids is better, but this thing just sucks. Hopefully I figured out that I have some random green lines coming up my screen, and I just didn't want that to happen during the stream, and I had to shut it down and then not have content for a little bit. So Mac Jones, this guy's taking all the backups. He took Dak and Justin Herbert, and then he wastes his last 3 picks on Fields, Carson Beck, and Mac Jones. Dude, just roll with Dak and Justin Herbert. Fucked up kid. Well, he is fucked up, clearly. You know what? As much as I think this team sucks, I don't think I hate the... I mean, but you're hoping on Mac Jones to have an injury, right? Like, if there's no injury, what the hell is the point of drafting Mac Jones? I'm not in on that. When you have 2 stud quarterbacks, just take other positions. He didn't have Purdy, though. So we have a lot of draft grades to get to, and then we're going to do another one of these with the Mouth of the South from Downtown Sports right after this. And you know what, Dakota, as you know, I love Surratt, and I could have taken Surratt over someone I took, but I knew that would have been bullshit. So yeah, that's an escalator pick. When you take all those backup quarterbacks, it's just, you know, that kid is back on the escalator again.
That kid is back on the escalator again. Remarkable. That's criminal. That kid is back on the escalator again. Leave it alone. What?
All right, here we go. Let's go from the bottom in terms of pick number to the top here. Let's go with Jake's team. Interesting. Malik Willis, Baker Mayfield, and Aaron Rodgers. McCaffrey, David Montgomery, Jonathan Brooks, Emmanuel Wilson, Kalen Black, and Kamani Vidal. By the way, why is Kamani Vidal going after the fucker from Baltimore? See, my head is just not there tonight. Keaton Mitchell. Why is Kamani Vidal going after Keaton Mitchell? That just makes no sense. Give me Kamani Vidal all day over Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell doesn't catch passes and any of those things. So another flex. I want to do another flex. I'm going to make this better. It would have been a crazy pick, but no, I want Surratt. You didn't reach on Surratt. Surratt should be drafted 2 rounds ahead. Anyways, decent running back room for him. Again, quarterbacks, Malik Willis, Baker Mayfield, and Aaron Rodgers. A couple teams there's some teams that have week 1 buys on here. There's only a couple teams they listed on, so it's bullshit. F the fix NFL. Cool, man. Thanks for the comment, Deshaun. We appreciate you. Is that your name, Deshaun? Deshaun. It's spelled really weird. What? Real quick. Why is it spelled like that? Just honest question. Don't know why it's spelled like that. Deshaun. It's interesting.
Very cute.
Oh,
What's his name?
It's Kwame.
It's Kwame. Kwame. Mm-hmm. Nice name. Nice name.
Thank you. I think so too.
It's a little light for Kwame, no?
What?
A lot of names to pick, but it was a little darker, maybe.
Yeah, can you go?
That's very scary.
You need to get out.
Hey, any guys want ginger ale?
Here, get the fuck out.
I had to do it. Sorry, Deshaun. Appreciate the comment. And Dakota says Deshaun Goat. Anyone named Deshaun, he just loves Deshaun Watson so much. Fucking funny shit. Anyways, let's finish this team off with Puka Nacua, Ibuka, Michael Wilson, Pittman, Jalen McMillan, Malik Washington, Skylar Bell, and Jalen Tolbert. Tyler Warren, Sam Laporta, and Pat Freiermuth. Great tight end group. How's the stacking looking? Malik Willis, I saw Malik Washington and Jalen Tolbert. With Baker Mayfield, I see Ibuka and McMillan. That's pretty nice. And Aaron Rodgers, you're rocking Michael Pittman and Pat Freiermuth. So double stacks on everything. Quarterback room is suspect. I will say that. Suspect. Exactly how I just put it, Jake. I'm going to go C+, just because C+ to B-, just because the quarterbacks are questionable, as much as I'm assuming Aaron Rodgers comes back, right? And I like Malik Willis. Just the fact you had to take him that early, and the running backs are like Jonathan Brooks is your 3, as much as I love him. And the high-end receivers are lacking, but 2 tight ends are dope. So B-, C+. What do you guys have in the chat? A through F. Give us your grade on this squad. Definitely seemed better out of Jake. I think a lot of our drafts were a little janky. Yep, pick 12 can be bad if you don't take one early. What you had, I don't hate it. Like, and the fact that you are like, this is a pretty aggressive team. Like, you're banking on the Dolphins. Unfortunately, you're banking on the Dolphins, and then I don't mind the Bucks bet, but you're also banking on Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. So, not really a high draft capital on any of the Steelers players. Rodgers, good value. Michael Pittman, good value, and Pat Freiermuth. Like, that's not terrible, but. So, yeah, I give it C+. What do you have for yourself, Jake? What does everyone else have before I move on? Better than average team with really good upside. I just feel like the downside is pretty bad. Like, if this team goes wrong, it's going to go really wrong. But I do like the Emmanuel Wilson pick with the Jonathan Brooks pick, because Wilson will have some early season stuff. And then Kamani Badal, as you know, I love that man. So. It's about a low as a grade I'm going to give Jake's team, because we just see eye to eye on so many players. So usually I just love the players that he has. Like David Montgomery, love that. C+ for Mouth. Get him in here. I'm going to move on to. This is Derek's team. Jalen Hurts, Matt Stafford, Jacoby Brissett, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Jonah Coleman, Nick Singleton, Alvin Kamara, Sean Tucker with Olave, Jalen Waddle, Mekhi Lemon, Courtland Sutton, Xavier Worthy, Denzel Boston, Dontavian Wicks, and Christian Kirk. Loveland, Goddard, and Parkinson. So in terms of stacks, he has Jalen Hurts is stacked up with Lemon, Saquon Barkley, and Dontavian Wicks. Matt Stafford is not stacked. He's got Colby Parkinson there. And then Jacoby Brissett with nobody. Am I right on that? So, love the start there. Yeah, Jake, you kind of have to. That's when the best drafts we have is when we take best player available or close to it, and it happens to be the stack, right? Sometimes you just have to choose. I think I did the same. I did the opposite. I took worst player available and didn't stack very much. We'll see how the team grades out. So this team, I do like the quarterbacks. I do like the top 2 running backs. I'm not a big Jonah Coleman fan. I do love Singleton. Kamara's fine, and Sean Tucker's going to maybe get you a couple touchdowns. Worthy was he reached on him apparently, but I still like Worthy's value. Sutton, just not a lot of high-end stuff here at receiver. I do like the tight ends. This is a C. This is a C. I know he said you missed a couple picks. He got disconnected. Not a bad team. Somebody happens to be Derek right here. We're looking at his team. That's who took him ahead of you. But he got him after ADP. So I don't know if you could have banked on having him at 35, but I've seen it happen. So I've seen better teams. Some of the stuff I like what you did here, but I just feel like the stretch from Lemon. I know you needed Lemon for your stack, but Lemon through Christian Kirk, as much as I don't mind Sutton and Worthy, Boston, Wicks, Kirk, it's just not the best, and they're not as correlated as I would have liked. So solid C, but Dallas Goedert, you do have some stacks with Jalen Hurts. So Mouse says C+, so similar range. I feel like Jake's team has more of a boom bust potential. This is more of a floor team. Like, this team might have a better chance to advance than what Jake drafted, but I don't think this team is actually winning or even advancing a couple rounds. What do I know, though? I mean, who knows? Let's move on. Get the rest of your grades in for that team. We're going to go to, now we're on to my team here. Really good projection for my team. I know you got sniped a bunch, Derek, and I think you said you got timed out on a couple picks too, so that would make some sense. Again, C, we usually don't give a lot of low grades because I think everyone has really good teams. C is about as low as I mean, obviously, I think I gave Dakota an F once, but still, I would say an average team. Hey, here, I'm gonna go to my team right now, and you guys give it to me. Give me the truth here. Joe Burrow, Jackson Dart, and Geno Smith. Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, Blake Corum, Tyrone Tracy, and Dylan Sampson. T. Higgins, Zay Flowers, Brian Thomas, Omar Cooper, Jalen Coker, Brandon Ayuk, Keyshawn Boutte, Malachi Fields, and Andre Yoshivash. Kyle Pitts, Likely, and Jake Tunges. This wide receiver core is just booty outside of – I actually have Keyshawn Boutte, so there it is. In terms of stacks, Joe Burrow is stacked with T. Higgins and Yoshivash. Jackson Dart, I have Tyrone Tracy and Isaiah Likely and Malachi Fields. Geno Smith, I have Omar Cooper. This is – they're not really good stacks. My running back room, I really like my running back room, my quarterback room. I guess the build's good. I would say I hit the build because I drafted 9 on a weak wide receiver room, but this is, in my mind, I think a C team. Let me know what you guys think. It's a pretty average, pretty shitty team. Got really good value on Kyle Pitts. It says just 3 after ADP. I feel like 116 is pretty good. Eric, my wife, loves Joe Burrow, so she endorses the team because of Joe Burrow and T. Higgins. I had to reach on T. Higgins, 12 picks. And then if I had just taken Garrett Wilson instead of Zay Flowers and then got Geno Smith, that would have made this team look a lot better. That was where I kind of lost it there a little bit. And then I just took shots on Coker, Ayuk, Boutte, whatever. I don't know. Malachi Fields I took for the stack, and then Yoshivash also stacks. So not the best thing I've ever done. Tight ends are actually pretty good, though, because I think Tunges will be good, definitely early in the season. So I think this is a C. This is probably one of the worst teams I've drafted on streaming quite a bit. That being said, the running back room is solid. I love Tracy as a 4 and Sampson as a 5. So C+ from Jake. It's not great. Let's go to Dakota's team here. And Mouth, I like this instantly because Breece Hall, Geno. Oh, I forgot I have Breece Hall. That's cool. Breece Hall and Geno. B+. You know what? I wasn't thinking about the fact that I know it's not a wide receiver, but I have Breece Hall and Geno and Omar Cooper. So it actually is more stacked than I thought. Dakota says C-. Tell me how you really feel, Dakota. Let's go to your team and see what you got. Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, and Deshaun Watson. No way, bro. What? He has Deshaun Watson on his team? Holy shit.
Your hands are what makes it possible. Your shoulder pads are hard and stiff. Your hands are tender and they can move and caress the ball. that's kind of gay, but hey.
Look at this value on Deshaun Watson, though. This is what I'm talking about. You got him pick 143, 31 picks after ADP, Dakota, with Kyler Lamar Jackson. Very, very well-rounded quarterback room. Genty, Judkins, Tajay Spears, Ray Davis, James Conner, and Caleb Johnson. Devonta Smith, Mike Evans, Marvin Harrison, Carnell Tate, Jordan Edison, Jawan Jennings, Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Surratt, Bowers, Andrews, Hawkinson. So I really, really love what you did at tight end. The wide receivers are pretty good. The running backs are not good. So as much as I'm a Judkins guy, like Tajay Spears is your 3. I'm a Singleton guy. I don't think Tajay Spears is really anything this year. Ray Davis, I love him, but he is a dart throw at this point. He needs an injury. James Conner might not be on that team, and Caleb Johnson again is toiling and ammonid. He just sucks. How about that? I didn't finish the word. Good wide receiver room though. So it's an incomplete team, but it's a good team though. The running back room gives me questions. Like if it was Ashton Genty and James Cook, or Ashton Genty and Saquon, or Ashton Genty and even a guy like Breece Hall or ETN, I'd feel more comfortable about it. Quinshon Judkins coming off an injury. I wish you took Dylan Sampson. But the quarterback room is elite and well put together. The wide receiver room is very well put together, and the tight end room is great. So this is a good team. I just think it could have been a lot better with the running back room with how it played out. So I'm going to go B- to B to B- in this team because I'm going to punish the running back room just a little bit. Mr. Free Throw, he sniped by Devonta Smith pick. Mouse really high on the Jets. Unfortunately, though, I like the Jets too, but like I gotta temper my expectations and like I just don't want to say they're a top 10 offense. I'm just not going to go into it saying, okay, I have a bunch of Jets. I like it. I see the upside in it. So we like this team is probably the best team. B minus, B. I said B to B minus, so that's about fair. Like I said, this is a really well constructed team. It's just Tajay Spears as a 3. I just wish that was like as crazy as this sounds. Tajay Spears has more floor than Nick Singleton. Like I wish that was Dylan Sampson. Honestly, then you would have the Browns backfield. So even if you're not in on Deshaun Watson, the fact that he got him this late, like this is good value. You don't need him. This is a luxury pick because you have Lamar and Kyler Murray. It's only positive, right? It's only going to work out. So Mal thinks my team is better. I don't. Yeah, I get what you're saying. This is the James Conner thing. I can't get on board with James Conner unless they release him. If James Conner gets to release and goes to the Packers, it's gonna be awesome, right? James Conner as the 2 there to Josh Jacobs. That's gonna be awesome. And I do like Caleb Johnson. I love Ray Davis. It's just I feel like with not having a great RB2, and I love Judkins. It's not a solid set in stone guy with the injuries and the Browns. And Tajay Spears, I just wish there was something else. That's the reason it's not an A, honestly. Other than that, though, it's a great team. All right, you guys ready to hop in another one here? I got to redeem myself, even though Mouth loves my team, but I didn't say it was 0 stacks, Mouth. I said it was like bad stacks, like Malachi Fields. Like it was even like Isaiah Likely, it wasn't great stacks. It was Omar Cooper as a stack, but Tyron Tracy counts as a stack, and so does Breece Hall. So I have my running backs, just not great. I don't love this team, but it's okay. I mean, I feel like it graded and looked better when I looked at it after the fact, which is a good sign. In the moment, I was like, this is a disaster. So it's a good sign, though, right? When we think we do something bad and it actually looks okay. We're doing, Keith, this is the Superflex. This is the Field General. That's what we're doing. We like Superflex around here. Extra rounds, more strategy. That's what we're doing. Keith, you're welcome to hop in with us, man. Jake, I still have never, you got a good call. Have we ever seen Jake get a top 7 pick? I have never seen it. Don't join. Dakota says don't join. We're waiting. Keep us. How many were in there? Like two remaining? Jake, this is your draft, bro. And Jake says, I'm down for another draft. Jake, you don't have to tell me. I know you're down. Jake was such a great addition to the community. We do appreciate you, Jake, for joining and drafting with us and just being around. So it's awesome. You're in, Keith, as long as we all got to join at the same time. So there's no guarantees we all get in, but we have Dakota here. He says there's 2, so we're going to wait for the next draft. Don't join the one currently. While we wait, I just want to shout out to the Patreon bros. That includes you, Jake, who is the man, one of the most recent. He's the most recent join member of the community, but hop on in now. We have our Dynasty League filled up. We're gonna have 6 redrafts or so for you guys in August, as well as all sorts of good stuff. The Discord community fantasy leagues, like I said, guest appearances on the show, free merchandise. I'm giving away hats and shirts, access to the bets, right? The bets right here, guys. We crushed last year 96 and 58 on the player props bets. We're gonna have Mike Storey's college football bets joining this year, as well as Mouse team bets. Game lines, over-unders, all those kind of things. You're going to get 3 ways to win. How many redrafts do you play, Jake, every year? Like, what is your number? You had 50 teams in 1 year. You're talking redrafts, 50 redrafts? If that's the case, then hell yeah. I've never done more than 30, but I do 25 to 30 redrafts, 22 to 30 every year. Most I've done, I think, is 27. But I have never done less than 20 in the last 15 years redrafts. And the thing is, those are all typically all mine are $200. Like I do a couple hundreds, but a couple home leagues are like 150, but they're all 250s. What's your average though, Jake? Redrafts a year. Everyone put in what they play. Let's see how crazy we all are. Dakota, keep us updated on how we looking, man, for the next draft. And just whenever I say join, we all join together, and then we oh shit, I missed 8 more. We gotta hurry. Join. Did I fuck this up? 3 more to start. We're good. We're good. Hop in. Whoever wants to draft, hop in. Hear me now. Hear me now. Hop in. I missed your message, Dakota. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I missed it. Fuck. I don't think Mouth got in here. God damn it. It's hard to host, man. 3 dinos, 1 redraft, 1 superflex, volume, best ball. So who got in here? Peanut Punch got in here. Jake got in here. Dakota got in here. Silver got in here. Fuck, man. My timing was off on that one. That's it's on me. It's hard to host, guys. You got to crush that message even more so I hear it. You got to crush it. I was distracted. 3rd pick, though. Actually, it's pretty cool for me. Guys, after the show, all you got to do is get in the Discord, and then Mouth is drafting. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, Lamar Jackson at 3. Like that. Mouth is drafting. A lot of these guys are drafting. So you guys can coordinate in the Discord who wants to, draft afterwards, right? Super Beast, you're in this. You have 6 pick. You're in this, Keith. 6 pick. We're in this one. Jake has 3 serious teams, 1 dynasty. The year I had 50, I was unemployed and just did a bunch of ESPN Yahoo NFL drafts and won 25 out of 50. Holy fuck. Then public ones, yeah. So there's another one, guys. If you missed this one, hop in the one with Mouth. There is 6 more to go. Unfortunately, I am using my other phone that doesn't have Discord on it, so I cannot go through your guys' teams after the draft that aren't in this draft, for instance. Yeah, I was in the golf industry forever, so I was essentially not working November through March. So the first couple months draft season was nuts, working 50 hours a week, but having a full-time job year round, it's tough to play 20 fucking leagues. It is a 40-hour a week job. So that's why I figured I'd do the show, and already putting in this much time, why not put in another 40 hours? Jalen Hurts at 9. Dak at 10. Jamar Chase went at 4. Someone got Gibbs at 5, which is pretty cool. Mal says you have the stones to draft with him. So if you're not getting this draft, hop in the current Superflex one. It has 5 more to go. Mouse in that. You could probably get in with if Derek wants to join that one, whoever else. Do you do Scott Fishbowl Chicago Live? I don't, man. I do know about the Scott Fishbowl, though. I don't like how they do the draft so early, and I get it's a giant tournament kind of thing. Redrafts, I won't draft until the last 2 weeks. I pack all my 35 leagues. I count my wife's leagues as well. All my 25 plus her 10 in that last 2 week stretch. I want to have the best chance that I have my guys get hurt. Best ball is what it is. This is for fun. This is for shits and giggles. But redrafts, I have big money on the line. I don't like having my guys get hurt a week or 2 before the season after I draft them. Or Andrew Luck, for instance, retiring in the last game of the preseason, which is just batshit crazy. I can't believe that happened. There goes Jackson Dart at 17. We have a chance at a pretty solid team here. I have 21. Whoa, JSN still available. It's pretty cool. So is St. Brown. There goes Mahomes. So let's go ahead and take St. Brown. And we could probably get Jared Goff on the way back, is my thought. That would be great. That would be lovely. Oh, shout out. What's going on, MVP? How you doing, man? We're having issues coordinating these drafts. A couple guys got left out of this one, and I feel bad because the whole reason I did 2 drafts was because Mouth earned it. It's always earned it. I want to draft with Mouth, but shit happens, man. Tomorrow night, Meg Storey is joining me for a pretty fun show. It's called the Fantasy Football Mysteries. We're talking about some just stuff that we don't know, unknowns, how it's going to affect fantasy, what we predict to happen. Going to be a pretty interesting segment. And also a great announcement is, this motherfucker takes Jared Goff. Okay. Sweet. I'll just take Saquon Barkley, I guess. An asshole. Fucking A, man. Oh, why do you do that? Why? Now I have St. Brown unstacked. Thursday, we're going to get the guys back together. So Nick O and Mike Storey were my football guys for about a year and a half, exclusively those two on almost every show. This is way back in the day. And, Nick O came back to the fold here recently about, the end of last year. And they have yet to do a show together on the stream. So they're going to come back together. It's going to be me, Nico, and Mike Storey for Thursday, the schedule reveal. We're going to go through all the stuff that comes out with the schedule. We're going to go through a lot of fantasy playoff schedules and good and bad, stuff like that, real life stuff. Break down the schedule, 9 p.m. and now it's an earlier show, 9 p.m. The schedule releases 7 p.m. Central. We're going 9 p.m. with Nico and Mike Storey. You don't want to miss that one. That's going to be a good time. Just getting those two back together. You were MVP. You were in Minnesota, right? It's a little difference going from Minnesota back to Florida. Let's see. This guy's got 3 quarterbacks. This guy's got 3 quarterbacks. I only have 1. I don't like that. We'll see how she goes here. Silver's in here. Who's in the draft with Mouth? Let Mouth know who's in there. MVP, I am as well, man. I'm excited we're doing a slow draft too, so we can really marinate in this fucker for a couple weeks. Another team with 3 straight quarterbacks. I don't like seeing this when I only have 1. I really don't like seeing this when I only have 1. Not a fan. There goes Tyler Shuck. This is not great for my prospects. It's getting real gross real fast, guys, at quarterback. But, hey, guess what? A lot of value elsewhere. I'll roll with Lamar Jackson if I have to. I don't care. 1 quarterback build. Let's fucking go. And there goes Sam Darnold. 5 picks ahead of ADP. His ADP is 44. Not great. So is there even a quarterback I would take? I mean, Malik Willis, if he's there. I could take CJ Stroud, but that's fucking gross. We might have to just take best player available here. This might have to be a Drake London team. Although I could take CJ Stroud and Nico Collins, which I just don't like CJ Stroud. There goes Jeremiah Love. T. Higgins off the board really early. I reached on him last time. His ADP is like 60. 18 picks early. There goes Drake London. And Peanut Punch takes Brock Bowers. So we're going to take CJ Stroud. And really, really just hope that Nico Collins falls back to us, guys. And it's not going to happen because these guys don't have any receivers. But in that case, I got to do it just for the chance. I got to do it because I should have taken Malik Willis in reality, but there's no one to stack with Malik Willis. There's just no one to stack. There goes Trey McBride. Good. Okay. Yes, we're going to get Nico Collins. This worked out pretty well for us. So we have Stroud and Nico Collins. We have Lamar Jackson, St. Brown, and Saquon Barkley. A lot of pillars here. I'm digging that. I am digging that. Good start. Way better start than last time. Let's do it. I'm feeling good. I'm very happy about that. Shout out to Michael Jackson. Who has seen the new Michael movie? Anyone? What are your thoughts? And who's seen Leaving Neverland? Because that was bad.
This is bad. We got to definitely write a song about how we do not diddle kids. Do not diddle kids. It's no good diddling kids.
There is no quicker way for people to think that you are diddling kids than by writing a song about.
Very true, Mac. Very true. Don't write a song about that if you don't want people to think you're doing it. I guess Michael Jackson didn't really write songs about it. I think that he meant to. It just, we all thought it was about a girl, but it was actually about like a 9-year-old. Sorry, Michael. But, you know, low-hanging fruit right there. I got to go for it. Anywho's, there goes Devonta Smith. That's a nice little pull there, Dakota. Very nice pull. You have Herbert and Hampton. It's a good start for you, buddy. Very proud of you, Dakota. I'm very proud. You know what? I think of you like a son, Dakota. Oh, God. Look at that. Silver with a George Pickens pull. And he has Dak Prescott. Looking like it's working out for a lot of people. So far, I think we're going to have better draft grades on this team than last. Did anyone get in that draft with Mouth? Anyone in here? Because Mouth is in the draft currently. Mouth, post your team in the Discord after this. Like I said, I'm not going to be able, even if I'm doing draft grades and yours is done, I'm not going to be able to find it. It's not. I don't have Discord on this phone, so sucks using the stupid Android. I don't like it. Camp Scatterbo. We're up in 7 picks. I need a running back. Unfortunately, there they all go. There goes David Montgomery to Silver. Would have loved that. My bad, brother. Like I said, the only reason I was doing 2 drafts tonight was because of you, and then you don't get in this. It just sucks. I feel like poop about that. DeAndre Swift, Chris Olave. And there are still some really good quarterbacks available here. One in particular. And some running backs available that I don't hate. Oh, and Zay Flowers. That's a must for me. I guess Zay Flowers has to be there. He takes Bryce Young. So we're going to take Zay Flowers with Lamar. He was tempted to take Zay. You wouldn't do that in your situation because that would have been early. I didn't take Zay early. I took him at ADP, the same pick I just got, and that would have been 64. See you, Derek, man. Thanks for tuning in, dude. Tomorrow's going to be a good show. Mike Storey, Fantasy Mysteries. Going to be fun. Oh, Jadarian Price, gross. I don't like any of these guys at all. I do like Fernando Mendoza, though, at 10 picks after ADP. So that's probably going to be my pick. And I can get some shitty-ass Vegas receivers later. So that's the pick I'm going to have to make, especially when I have CJ Stroud. I can't roll with a naked CJ Stroud out there. No one wants to see that. So we'll take Mendoza. Not thrilled about it. Not thrilled about it too much, but needed a third quarterback. They went really fast. And with how fast quarterbacks went, to get Mendoza at 10 picks after ADP, I feel like is a pretty good little pull there. And God, I love taco flavored kisses, man. Taco flavored kisses for my band. Where the fuck is it at? Why can't I find it? I've not had I've had a couple of rough performances the last couple of drafts. It's because I add one thing and it mixes up. I'm used to. There it is. There it is.
Don't think just because I got a lot of money, I'll give you taco flavored kisses, honey. Fulfill all your wishes with my taco flavored kisses. Taco, taco, burrito, burrito, taco, taco.
Sometimes you just gotta sit back and just chill out a little bit.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole.
Okay, then.
You just take it easy, man.
You know, that's your answer for everything, dude. And let me point out something. Pacifism is not... Look at our current situation with that camel fucker in Iraq. Pacifism is not something to hide behind.
Just take it easy, man.
I'm perfectly calm, dude.
Yeah, waving the fucking gun around?
Calmer than you are.
Oh, Peanut, you only had Daniel Jones. You said he pushed Mendoza. Didn't think you'd take him. I only had 2 quarterbacks, and one of them was C.J. Stroud. I'm always going to take a guy 10 picks after ADP. I wasn't even thinking the fact that you needed him, but what I'm disappointed by is that you took Travion Henderson over Mendoza, and Quinshon Judkins was on the board. Like, I want Henderson probably over Bashal Tutin, but I'm not taking either of those guys really. Travion Henderson, that's gross. I hate Travion Henderson. It's just not. It's not a fun pick. It seems fun, right? The upside of Travion, the idea of Henderson's great. Doesn't see the field very much. I don't think he's a very elite player either, which is probably why he doesn't see the field. But yeah, I had to take him. It's just if I had a better quarterback, if I had gotten Jared Goff there instead of Barkley and Lamar and Goff, I wouldn't have taken Mendoza. I'd roll with 2. CJ Stroud, you can't just roll with CJ Stroud and Lamar Jackson. No fucking way. I'm not. I have pretty high hopes for CJ Stroud this year because they're going to go. I think my main theory is them drafting another blocking tight end there and improving that O-line a little bit. When CJ Stroud had his success as a rookie, they played a lot of 12 personnel and they were sending out like 3 and 4 man routes. And there was this extra guys blocking, right? And CJ Stroud's a great processor, really accurate. You give him time, he's elite. I think they're going to go back to that this year, and that's the upside with CJ Stroud. They've done him dirty on all accounts. The receivers being hurt, the offensive line breaking down, no running game, those kind of things. So, yeah, they've done him really dirty. So this is it's still CJ Stroud who has no upside when we're talking about like giant weeks. Mouth loves his team. Let's see where I'm looking here. I need a running back. I need one bad. So I'm at 95. Carl Tate, Tyson, Harrison. Let's go ahead and take Kyle Monangai here. A little early. Harold Fannin, no. Marvin Harrison might not be bad. So I kind of like my receivers. I need running backs. I need running backs in the worst way. So we're going to go ahead and just keep on taking the same fucking guys that I draft. And it's a lot of them in the Superflex League. I have so much confidence in Blake Corum. So much confidence in Blake Corum. I'm going to get him too. That's why I would usually take Blake Corum over Monangai, but I have too much Blake Corum. So I if he followed back to me, great. Right around ADP. If not, I can live without him, but we'll take him. And Jake, by the way, what did Jake have? You had the 7th pick. Jake had the 7th pick again. Jake has yet to have. I didn't even mention this when we had the draft order come in. Can the guy ever get a top fucking 5 pick, please? Please, Jake. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you. I feel bad for you. This is bullshit. I'm always drafting top 5. I feel like. Mouth, read out your team for us if you could. Once you make your next pick or whatever, give us your top 6, top 7. Marvin Harrison, that's a really nice find there at 103. I like his team. Goes Harold Fannin, 105, Sam Laporta, 106, a silver. That's a really good pick. Now, after the draft, I was taking Fannin, and Fannin's dropped, but Sam Laporta should be taken ahead of Harold Fannin. I know Dakota's taking it to set up his Deshaun Watson pick, and I love Harold Fannin. It's a crowded room, and like Sam Laporta's a crowded room too, but I want a crowded room for touchdown upside on Detroit. Like Detroit's going to throw between 31 and 35 touchdowns. The Browns are going to throw between 21 and 25 touchdowns at best. So that's the Sam Laporta over Harold Fannin at half PPR. Harold Fannin definitely more reception upside, probably more yards upside, but I feel like best case for Harold Fannin, he catches 7 touchdowns. Sam Laporta has 10 touchdown upside, especially if there's an injury. Where the injuries on the Browns aren't going to affect Fannin's touchdown upside, if that makes sense. There goes Kyle Stanky Pitts, Parker Washington to T-Dub. It's all good, Jake. I was talking to this, and you brought this up originally about your selections. Last year, my wife, we did for her account, we probably did like 12 or maybe 15 Superflex drafts. And she literally had 8 or 9 shares of Josh Allen. So he had the top pick in like 9. And she had Lamar Jackson, like 2 of them. So she was getting a top 3 pick in 75% clip. And then in all of the other ones, we did probably 100 on her account in terms of just a regular 1 quarterback. She wasn't getting inside the top 4. She couldn't get, Gibbs or Bijan or Jamar Chase anywhere. So it's weird. It's random. So like, I don't think they're specifically fucking you, but maybe they are. But who knows? Maybe you have the last laugh because you used to draft really good teams, and draft order is relevant, especially after the first couple rounds, right? You can kind of get the guys you want. Up in 3 picks. Let's take a little gander at the squad. 3-3-3, which I do like the build here. A little weaker at running back than wide receiver. I have Stroud, Mendoza, and Jackson. So Stroud, Mendoza, and Jackson. No tight ends, and there's no one I want here. There's one guy I really like. I don't need that. Cortland Sutton would be pretty nice here. You know what? I'm going to take Michael Wilson, I think. Let's take Michael Wilson. Well, Jake, I just hope you like doggy style, man, because they are bending you over, and it's a pretty nice position. All people like it, right? Girls like it, guys like it, gay guys like it. I mean, that's actually the only position that gay guys usually do. I just have read about this in men's magazines. I've never seen anything about it. No experience. It's supposed to be a thing. Do they call it cowboy? It's like reverse cowgirl with guys and girls. Like, do gay guys just call it cowboy? I never heard that, but I'm coining that phrase, like cowboy position. Kenneth Gainwell is still available, and that's who I was going to take originally. So let's take Kenneth Gainwell here. Really, Jake, it's never too late, man. They're always looking for more members and more teammates. So, and also it's really cool nowadays. You get awards and you get celebrated. You get better job security. So you know what? There's some upsides there. It's not like it used to be in the 80s when they fucking murdered you. Well, more like in the 60s. They would murder you in the 60s. 80s, you were shunned. 2000s, it was accepted. In 2020s, you're a fucking hero. So, especially if you go all the way, and you know what I'm talking about in terms of like all the way committing, which is changing your gender. You're celebrated. I mean, goddamn. Bruce Jenner is Woman of the Year, guys. He won Woman of the Year, and you know what? Congratulations. Let's all give a round of applause to Caitlin, Bruce, whatever the fuck she's calling himself, or it's calling himself now, or herself. Congratulations, Woman of the Year.
Simple Jack, the story of a mentally impaired farmhand who can talk to animals, was a box office disaster that many critics called one of the worst movies of all time.
Got a good brain.
I think you've got a fine brain, Jack.
You make me happy.
But now the question is, can
you imagine if the fantasy footballers had a 4-minute stretch that I just had with the clips and what I just said, which I don't think any of it was super offensive. I think it's pretty funny, and just it is what it is, freedom of speech. But like they would hit me off the air, losing sponsorships, and we don't have any sponsorships here, so I don't have to worry about what I say. You guys are the sponsors, so guys, get those supers in. Join the Patreon if you're not in there, because I am an independent contractor. I have nothing. That's why I can do what I do and say what I say. And, I guess I would maybe sacrifice it and sell it to the devil to like be able to make a living. But I like having fun. It's hard to, what's the saying? A zebra has stripes, or it's hard to take the stripes away from the zebra. Maybe I'm making up a new saying, but I want to be me. I want to have a good time. And I want to say some shit that's going to shock you. And also you're like, I agree with him. And what the fuck are you talking about? All those things. Mouse team, Allen, Purdy, Monty, Swift, Laporta, Kittle. Allen, Purdy, Monty, Swift, Laporta, Kittle. Who are your wide receivers? So I'm sure that wasn't your first 6 picks, right? Guessing he has DJ Moore. I'm up in 3 picks. Let me get all business here on you. London, Wilson, Godwin is my 3, 4, 5. Ooh. So I need tight end here really badly. And there's not a lot of there's one guy available that I absolutely love, and we're gonna have to take. It's Mr. Let's see. No one here. Woody Marks is available. Oh, I can't believe Woody Marks fell this far. Dude, come on, Peanut. Dude, you don't need Mark Andrews. Son of a bitch, bro. Son of a bitch. Now I fucking panic pick. Why, Peanut? Can you explain why you have Brock Bowers? Why, dude? That one sticks in my fucking craw. Could have taken Ferguson if you said. I don't want Ferguson. I don't know why you take a guy. Mark Andrews is not very good. I have Lamar. That's the only reason that it just doesn't make any sense. Higgins, Coker. Fuck it. I'm taking upside with Shaheed. Now I'm just in a tailspin here. Who's your quarterback? Daniel Jones, Aaron Rodgers, and Tua. Could have taken you gotta take. Yeah, here's a guy right here. Pat Fryermuth, pick 192. Makes way more sense for your team because you have Aaron Rodgers. Way later, dude. Doesn't make any sense. And Jaden Higgins too. So take both the guys that I have stacked, who I don't like independent of not having a stack, like Jaden Higgins and Mark Andrews. No, I would never take them if I didn't have the stack. Gross, dude. It's all good. $3 league. I get a little emotional. And then just panic pick Rashid Shaheed. I should have just taken Jaden Higgins. I was fucking. It's all good, man. It's fucking fantasy, dude. All is fair in fantasy and love. I'm just going to be a little bit of a baby back bitch. Sometimes we all have to do that. And I wasn't prepared for you to take him because I just didn't think in any world you would take him since you had Brock Bowers. So when it happened, I didn't have my queue ready, and that's on me. That is on me. Oh, that just changes my team, like the trajectory of what I had going on. And I just should have taken Sadiq too. God damn it. All right, I gotta hone in here because that one hurts. Make the best out of it, baby. Make the best out of it. Make the best out of it. All right. Can't even put a proper clip in here. This is terrible.
Yeah, Dad. You need some of this.
This is cum.
And I'm just silent. Oh man. You just see what happens on my $250 fucking Fantrax drafts. Well, last year I had a fucking mole in there, which shout out to Pierre, who's in the Discord. I need to probably kick him out of there. He doesn't pay to be in there, but he offers some good content. He was one of the first ones that really tuned into the streams, but motherfucker was just taking Javonte Williams and Tucker Kraft and Chris Olave and just and he even said it. He was taking them just to spite me. And like just because he wanted a rise out of me, and it ended up fucking Tucker Kraft didn't really kill me because I already had 1 million shares. He ended up getting hurt, but like, you know, I probably ended up with 50% Javonte last year. I would have had 75% because it was a 10th round pick. And yeah, I don't care. This is a $3 draft. It's what I'm doing currently, so I'm going to care. So we're gonna take Nick Singleton. I guess. And okay, I guess I'll make do with what's available, and it's going to be stupid ass Dalton Schultz. And that is a stupid ass Dalton Schultz. God, my tight end 1 is Jake Ferguson. Oh my God. Ew. That's so bad. That is so bad. I got to take 4 tight ends in this team. This has to be a Jake Tunges team or something. So what the fuck do I even am I working with here? Running back room is done in my mind. All right. David, sorry I missed your comments. I got taken to the woodshed and butt fucked over there. So I got a little distracted. Who is my breakout tight end this year? Man, you know what? I think it could be TJ Hawkinson. I know that's as gross as it sounds. It is gross, but breakout is in like a guy that, I mean, easy answer would be Sam Laporta, right? And he can never really break out. He's going to definitely return value. I'm looking for a new Tucker Kraft, right? And I don't see it here. I like the stretch of kind of Fannin more so in PPR, but like I mentioned, Laporta and then Kyle Pitts, but those guys, it's limited with the quarterback play. TJ Hawkinson for me is a guy that's you can get as your last round pick in a redraft in a PPR with Kyler Murray, who just cannot throw the ball outside. And yes, they brought in Juwan Jennings, but that's going to cause TJ Hawkinson's price to go lower if that's possible. And the last healthy year we saw from TJ Hawkinson was 95 catches. He's 28 years old. The running back room is garbage. Like, he looked bad last year, but this could be – he's no worse than Jake Ferguson and Dalton Schultz, right? So that's my thing with TJ Hawkinson. He's not a league winner, but he's going to allow you to win the league if he does have 70 catches for 800 yards and 6 touchdowns, because he's going to be a top 10 guy that you draft in your literally tight end 20 or the last pick, and you're going to stack the rest of your roster. So that is my answer as of now. I've had a really nice history with hitting on later round tight ends and picking the right guy, right, that breaks out. Like 4 of 6 years I've picked a true stud. And this year is tougher. I just don't really see one. So that's why it's kind of a weird thing to say. TJ Hawkinson's awful. And I've been joking about him, how bad he is. He doesn't have to be good in real life, like a good player. Also, the tight end room there is Josh Oliver and like nobody else he's a blocker. So he's going to be on the field a lot. Kyler Murray just loves his tight end because he can't see over the line. A lot of dump downs. It's definitely more of a PPR thing where this is half PPR. So that would be my answer as of now. You know, a lot of things could change. A lot of people are going to say Kenyon Sadiq, right? No, not there. Isaiah Likely, sorry, man, just haven't seen it. Dallas Goedert's going to regress. I mean, Jake Tunges when he's playing. Aronde Gatson, they're going to play too much heavy personnel, and there's too many good receivers there. We're talking about a true guy, a guy that just destroys destroys the ADP, right? That's a breakout in my mind. Unless you're talking about a breakout that becomes a top 3 guy, that's usually what it means. I don't have an answer for you because I don't think there is one. Or at least not that I see. There might be. I'll tell you, I have Brock Bowers well ahead of Trey McBride. So Trey McBride, I'll probably have 0 shares of this year. Last year, I had 0 shares of Brock Bowers and like 8 or 9 shares of Trey McBride. And it's flip-flop for me this year. I think Brock Bowers I know he's a better player. I think he's going to have a better year, and you can get him later. There goes Jake Tunges. Ugh. Do you have Brock Purdy? No, he doesn't. Good pick. And fuck me, bro. What am I doing here? Wide receiver room is good. God, I really needed Tunges. Well, I guess we'll take fucking Cade Otton in the worst tight end room ever assembled. I need healthy bodies. Here. And now it is time to take shots at... Oh, great. All of the Trey Tuckers of the world are gone. Yeah, Trey Tucker's gone. God damn it. I got nothing with so Stroud. Take a shot on Tank Dell. Talk about tank, man. This team is tanked. Another one. Tyler Warren is probably that guy, David. That's a good call, man. That would probably be the guy. He's going. It just depends because I like where he's going in terms of range of ADP. I don't like how high he's going in terms of tight end ranks. Now, I guess ADP matters more than ranks. Just seems like a better floor option than an upside option. And I know you can, Michael Pittman's gone, but you also have a major question marks about that offense. They're going to run Jonathan Taylor into the ground. Josh Downs is taking a step forward. They're going to pepper Alec Pierce. So, but that is probably the obvious answer and the right answer, David, for the breakout tight end and what you want to call a breakout, which if you want to go by the fantasy footballers, their idea of a breakout, it's got to be a guy that's not a top 3-4 round pick that becomes a top 3-4 round value. That's probably the answer, Tyler Warren. Where Colson Loveland's going too high, right? He's just going too high. He's never going to return that much value from where he's going. So Tyler Warren would be it. You know what I do like about Tyler Warren is if you go back to his Penn State days, you saw a lot of, he can be using the gadget game. They can use him at Wildcat. He can throw the ball. He throws lefty, which is really, really wild. Which people don't expect, but he can throw a touchdown. He can rush a touchdown in, so that could help his touchdown floor and his touchdown ceiling. And yeah, he's a guy that could have 80 catches, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns, 10 touchdowns, which is enough to be tight end 3. And if you're getting him at tight end 6, yeah, that's the answer. I'm looking for more of a guy that can leap, right? Like where Tucker Kraft last year before he got hurt was tight end 1 in a 5-week sample and just dominating. That was a league winner. Right. I'm looking for guys like that can just double, if their ADP is 130, they can finish 65. Where I don't think Tyler Warren has that upside, but that would probably be the answer. Yeah. Yeah, Mouth. I'll read it out, man. What round are you in? You're almost beating us here. We have, looking at my squad here, running backs are done, receivers are dust. I need this has to be a 4 tight end team because how bad the fucking tight ends are. And there is nobody worth taking. Maybe Ferguson, but let's just take best player available here. It's gonna be Trey Harris. That draft started fucking 5 minutes after this one. You guys finished before us. Out saying this is his best team, even without good running backs. We will have to see. It's gonna be hard. I'll read it out. It's hard. I'm a visual person, but we'll give it a look. Give it a look. See. We'll take Terrence Ferguson or Greg Dulcich. This is grody. And then take someone deep with our last pick. Yeah, Mouth, send it on over when you are done, and we will read that when we do our draft grades and kind of stack it up. I'll take Ferguson. And there it is. One more pick. Any of you guys not in the community that are in this draft, Silver, Peanut Punch, I think that's it. Join the community, get in the Discord, join the chat, join the community, all these fine people. Keith, you as well, Super Beast. We'll go through. I'll give you a draft grade there, Keith. You as well, man. Hop in the community, support the show, and that gets you access to redraft leagues with us. All the good stuff, man. Merchandise. I give back to the people that give back to me. So hop on in, join the crew. It's only about I don't know exactly, but Discord has about 40 people because it's a lot of OGs, guys that have been with us. But in terms of the actual newer community that are supporting the show, this is the list. Guys you see on here pretty much every single night, tuning in, hanging out. It's worth it. All good, Peanut. Whatever anyone can do. I know people have a negative connotation about Discord. I never did it before I started this. It's just essentially a fantasy group chat. It's free to the Discord, like the app is free to download. There's no, nothing. You'd have notifications off. It's just a nice platform to, go through, start sit stuff that I can't get to everything on the show every time, and post your lineups, gambling stuff, all that kind of stuff, as well as you're gonna get my plays, boys, which is really worth the price of admission itself, because we just dominate every year. 96-58 was the best year we've had, but every year was is pretty big time winners. All even odds bets, all player prop bets. Usually they're all minus 110. So that's something else you're gonna get. I still have buddies at sports bet that don't follow my picks, and I'm like, okay, I know they're losing money because everyone loses money gambling traditionally. It's the reason DraftKings and FanDuel just make all that fucking money. So, all right. Yeah, I can look at it. I just can't put it up on the screen. So Mouth, I'll read it off in the Discord for you. I just can't. Let's see here. Yeah, I got it up here. I'll read it out once we're done here. I'm up in 2 picks. I need a receiver, and it's not going to be a good one. I know that. There's nobody that even correlates. Someone took Surratt, which just I should have taken him. That Andrew's pick just threw me for a fucking loop, and I just couldn't recover. And that's on me. That is just bad stuff there. Let's take Skylar Bell. Let's take a dude that I think could possibly blow up for a rookie. Dakota dominated me. I guess we'll see. I'm not too thrilled. My start's awesome. Like I said, ever since when I had to take Jake Ferguson, like the back 8 picks of this draft are just god awful. God awful. We'll go to Dakota's team here. 2 quarterbacks. Interesting. So we'll do draft grades, guys. A through F. Keith, I'm gonna throw Keith an honorary draft grade. Like I said, I got to give the community members every advantage I can because they're supporting me. So those are the draft grades I'm tossing out here, and as well as you guys can chat them out in the chat. Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, Marion Hampton, Chase Brown, DeAndre Swift, Jonah Coleman, Ray Davis, Kamani Bedell, and Caleb Johnson. You love Caleb Johnson. Devonta Smith, Ladd McConkey, Brian Thomas, Mekhi Lemon, Casey Concepcion, Jalen Coker, Travis Hunter, and Keon Coleman with Harry Fanny, Harold Fannin, Aronde Gatson, and Eli Stowers. Oh, so you have Hurts with Devonta Smith, with Mekhi Lemon, with Eli Stowers. So that's a lot of stacks there. You have Justin Herbert, you have a Marion Hampton, you have Ladd McConkey, and you have a Rondé Gadsden. So you are just stacked up, man. Like the running back room a lot. I feel like I would say Caleb Johnson was an unnecessary pick, but you only had 2 quarterbacks. You have the extra pick. Why the fuck not? And your wide receivers are plenty good. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of an issue I have with this team. I don't have any issues with this team. So I'm going to give it an A. It's a fucking A. I guess the 2 quarterback thing, but I've done that plenty and I don't punish myself. So it's an 2 quarterback build is aggressive. It's a winning strategy though. Those are the ones that usually win. If they stay healthy, if they go off. But I do like the value at Jalen Hurts this year is pretty solid. Justin Herbert, come on, man. Better offensive coordinator, a lot of weapons, Marion Hampton. So you're betting on the Eagles and Chargers, and there's a lot worse bets you can make than the Eagles and Chargers. Mal says A, Jake says B+. It's a good team. Even your Jalen Coker pick, nice value there. Someone probably stole Deshaun Watson from him. He was planning on going to Deshaun Watson. So, and they both play. Oh, actually, no, Mouth, you're wrong there because Justin Herbert gets hurt every year, but Justin Herbert plays through injuries. Jalen Hurts is usually nicked up every year. They both play through injuries, so they don't miss games, I think is the proper way to put it, because they're always dinged up, and I love that. I love that. Who cares if they get hurt? They're going to play. And they don't really take a step back in terms of their production too much, a little bit, but not enough to really make them like not fantasy viable. So this is a good team. B+ to an A. I like this team. A- or A, I'll say. Very good team. Very good team. You're right on your call there. Very, very good. Let's see. We're going to go to Jake's team here. 4 quarterbacks. I guess Joe Flacco, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Fields, and Joe Flacco. Tiny Dancer, Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, JCM, Jonathan Brooks, Woody Marks, and Dylan Sampson. I love those last 3 picks. I like the JCM pick as well. So these are my dudes you just took here. Guys, I love. Breece Hall is your 2. This running back room is amazing. T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, Mike Evans, Marvin Harrison, Xavier Worthy, Calvin Ridley, Elijah Surratt. You took Surratt. Tucker Kraft, Jake Tunges, and Mike Gesicki. The Joe Flacco pick just makes no sense. So I don't like the Joe Flacco pick. I feel like you could have used one more receiver. But with that being said, holy shit, man. This is taking 2 backup quarterbacks, but you're insulated there from injuries, and those guys tend to get hurt. One is already hurt, and one gets hurt every year. And I love you don't have a real 3, but all those guys are going to have work and have extreme upside with injury. This is a good team. I'm going to go A- on this team. This is fucking great. I just wish it's a little thin at wide receiver. And with Jake Tunges, right, at tight end's a little thin too, because Tunges has an expiration date. And Tucker Kraft's coming off an injury, but it's going to play. You know, it's as long as Kraft is that guy, it's going to play. So tight end's an issue. Not having a 3rd quarterback, essentially, but you don't have to worry about the quarterback injury. So it's a little hedgy, right? You hedge your bets a little bit. So that takes it away from A+ to A range for me. A-. Really good team. I love the players. So, yeah, I think personally, though, I'm just going to go all in on Joe Burrow, right? And just say, fuck it. Like, if he gets hurt, I'm probably fucked anyway. So, Mouse saying Eric Alt's going to take Gesicki's job. So that's my issues, is just the robust quarterback room where it's just it's too safe when your team's so aggressive. It just didn't make sense. And then Gesicki and Tunges, as much as I love Tunges, I like Tunges as my 3. So that's the reason it's not an A or an A+. A- though, because it's a great team. I love the players. You have stacks. You have everything you'd want on this team. Great team. We have, where is Super Beast? Here we go. New listener. We're going to give Super Beast a grade here. Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, Geno Smith. Really well put together quarterback room there. Geno Smith is a 3. As long as he keeps a job all year. Love it. Jeremiah Love, Javonte Williams, Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle, J.K. Dobbins, Mike Washington Jr. It's pretty hot. This is pretty hot right here. Chuba is a 3 I really do like. Rico and J.K. Dobbins. Not a big J.K. Dobbins guy, but after ADP, I don't hate it. I mean, I don't like the player, but I don't hate it. JSN, Roma Dunze, Jacoby Myers, Quentin Johnson, Antonio Williams, Jerry Jeudy, Jeremy Bernard, and Adonai Mitchell. With likely Hunter Henry and Theo Johnson. So I don't get the Theo Johnson pick, but it was your last pick, essentially. It was your last pick. Tight end room is issues, for sure. I could see a world where Raridan takes some work for Hunter Henry, but likely's fine. Don't like him as a 1. So the tight end is my biggest issue. And the wide receivers aren't great, but the picks make sense. Like Johnson, like it. Antonio Williams, Jerry Jeudy, super nice value there. Jeremy Bernard and Adonai Mitchell. This is how you build it right here. It's Superflex 2. You need 2 or 3 of these guys a week. And like I said, Chuba Hubbard is your flex most weeks with Rico Dowdle. Love the quarterback room. I'm going to go B to B+ in this team. Doesn't quite have the upside the other teams have. Let's take a look at the stack. So Jaden Daniels, Antonio Williams, Jordan Love. You're rocking naked Jordan Love. Is that correct? So naked Jordan Love and Geno Smith with Adonai Mitchell. So it's a a B, just because the stacks, honestly. It's just not, it's going to be hard without having multiple stacks to really like take this thing down. And that's not really how I'm going to grade it, but the upside is capped a little bit compared to the other teams, but the floor is super high. Solid B, really good team. Love the quarterback room. It's just the tight end room is just a little lackluster. And this is a team that could really have used a Jake Tungus. I think I'm going to say the same thing about my team coming up. We're going to get to Mouse team at the very end of this and compare them after we read all these teams. B, the tight end room is rough. So Jake said the same thing I have. Tosh has Storey bugging with the Dak takes. I think he's just sick of all the hate of Jalen Hurts, and I am a Dak fan, and I just don't really love Jalen Hurts. We all have crazy takes, and that he was just really, really getting pissed about. Storey gets a little upset here, and they're not quite like Big Ray, like I mentioned, but Storey's been we got to get the segment that Dakota mentioned, what's grinding my gears with Mike Storey. It's good. When he goes on rants, it's great. I just let him fucking cook. I just laugh. I just smile. I just let him do his thing, you know? Good team, Super Beast. Really good team. Like I said, just stronger tight end room and a couple more stacks. Like if there was Terry McLaurin on that team or something, would like it a lot more. But it's a good team. We're going to go to my shit squad, which was a great start, guys. I promise you it was a good start. Lamar Jackson, CJ Stroud on Fernando Mendoza, Barkley, Monungai, Blake Corum, Kenneth Gainwell, and Nick Singleton. St. Brown, Nico Collins, Zay Flowers, Michael Wilson, Shaheed, Tank Dell, Trey Harris, and Skylar Bell, with 4 of the most I don't know, average pieces of shit, pieces of turd. I don't even know what to say. This center room sucks, but I guess 4 of them equal 1, maybe. Ferguson, Schultz, Kate Otten, Terrence Ferguson. Wow. Losing out on my Mark Andrews pick. That just like, I'm a professional. I should be better than that. It just like, I put me in a tailspin, man, and just was not prepared for that. And just obviously look what happened. So I don't know. Quarterback room's okay. Running back room's all right. I only have 1 stud, but Monungai, Corum, and Kenneth Gainwell. I do like the Gainwell as my 4 without having a true number 2. And then Singleton gives me some X factor upside there. St. Brown is unstacked. So my stacks are Lamar and Zay Flowers. I have Stroud and Nico Collins and Tank Dell and Dalton Schultz. So I'm triple stacked with CJ Stroud. It is Turd Ferguson, by the way, Darth. Thank you. And then Mendoza's unstacked. So the stacking's not great. The team's not great. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck happened here. What do you guys think? It's not the best. Thank you, Keith. Hopefully I see you again soon, man. Taj says Hurts is a remedial quarterback. I mean, he's better than that. When I say he's trash, I just say I know Jalen Hurts is overrated. I think he's closer to an average quarterback than an elite quarterback. The Joe Burrows, Lamar Jacksons, Josh Allen, those guys. He's in that 8 to 12 tier, right? Where Dak, I feel like, is in that tier as well, and I prefer Dak. C+ from Mouth. You'll get 10 points of the slot somewhere. I was taking Corum the round you did, so you're getting me back for a little bit for not taking Corum twice today before me. You know what? I owe you a lot because you got Corum a lot. So hell yes. Hell yes. Flip Gainwell and Schultz for a tight end like Barner. This is best ball, Taj. So there is no trades. That's why these rosters look a little funky. Yeah, I would definitely do anything for a better tight end, but that's why I took 4 of them. They're not great. I just need like one of them to catch a touchdown, right? Every week, just can one of these guys catch a touchdown? They should. I just don't have any stacks with those guys. So, hey, that actually makes sense, Darth. This looks like one of those teams that doesn't look good but ends up being good. I mean, the quarterback, there's nothing about it's great. The quarterback room is good, but not great. Like maybe average with Lamar Jackson, which is hard to do. Running back room is good, but not great. Pretty average, but Kenneth Gainwell is a 4 is nice. Wide receiver room is okay, but not great. Michael Wilson is a 4. I like Shaheed in the best ball format and Tank Dell but in the tight end room just sucks. So, Taj, I was just looking at Ferguson's numbers last year. It was literally it was like 7.5 yards per catch. But he had 8 touchdowns, which that was a product of, if you look at back, he had a 12 catch game and a 10 catch game when CeeDee Lamb first got hurt before Pickens really took a step forward. And those catch numbers were so inflated, but the fact 7 yards per catch is insane. Devin A-Chain averaged that his rookie year running the ball. So Ferguson is just such a catch and fall down guy, but he's attached to a good offense. I just wanted Mark Andrews there. I'm not too happy with this team, but did what I could. This is a Superflex, Jay. Shout out, Jay. Professional fanatic in the Patreon. Newest edition of the Fanatic crew. And in the Dynasty League. So I can't wait to play Dynasty with you. Jay is the elder statesman of the group. He's not old. He's just the elder statesman. Still gets a raging rock hard boner and plows his wife all the fucking time. That's what he said, at least. And I do believe him. So that's Jay for you. That's a scouting report on Jay. Super nice guy. And knows his shit too. Ferguson is a new Witten. Dallas got to upgrade tight end, and Michael Trigg we trust. I love Michael Trigg, and he is a new Witten. Ferguson seems like an old man, but isn't Ferguson only like 27? You know what I mean? Like it feels like a geezer. Here we go. I'm going to read Mouse Team here that he did the draft right after us. He didn't get in ours. So we're going to read Mouse Team and just try to bear with us. And it's going to be hard to visualize. I'm going to read this off. Josh Allen, Brock Purdy, and Mac Jones. So you got some security there for Brock Purdy. David Montgomery, DeAndre Swift, Nick Singleton, Emmanuel Wilson, and Kalen Black. St. Brown, Rashee Rice, Drake London, Michael Wilson, Chris Godwin, Khalil Shakir, Zachariah Branch, Skylar Bell. Tight ends are George Kittle, Sam Laporta, Dalton Kincaid, and Jake Tunges. So the running back's rough. So you're going to be playing a lot of tight end in the flex. So Ferguson is 27. Heyo, I was accurate on that one. Yeah, I mean, TJ Hawkinson's only 28, so it's crazy. We think these guys are old. Mark Andrews, I think, is 29, guys. Seems like he is so dusty and a dinosaur. Mal, this is not the best team you've ever drafted. I do like this team, and I get why you took Jake Tunges and George Kittle. But with Kittle, Laporta, and Kincaid, I think you just cap it there. Like, 4 tight ends. I realized why I took 4 tight ends because my team sucked. Like this tight end room sucked. Like I had to. You had Kittle, Laporta, and Kincaid. Now your team isn't lacking. I just wish you had a running back there. So I wish you just had another running back, right? As much as I love Singleton and Emmanuel Wilson is a nice combo because Wilson will get the early season stuff. And we talked about it. We think Singleton's a starter by week 6, week 7. But I love the stacks you have here. Josh Allen and Brock Purdy are amazing. So I'm giving this a B+. I'm just going to ding you for having 4 tight ends in your situation. But you're going to have like literally a top 3 tight end every week, top 4 tight end every week with Kittle, Laporta, Kincaid, and then Tunges. So Tunges will be that until Kittle comes back. And then you might have some flex appeal there. And Drake London as your 3 is awesome. It's just Swift as your 2 and Singleton as your 3. Like you're really relying on DeAndre Swift. I wish you had Monungai, right? If you had just taken if Monungai was there instead of George Kittle, as I know you want to stack, but if you just had Monungai and DeAndre Swift, I want that security at running back more than tight end. That would be my take on this team, but it's still a really good team and stacked to the gills plus Josh Allen. Love it. And Kincaid. And yeah, so the stacking is good. I mean, everything's good. Just the running backs are weak and the tight ends are too strong, which sometimes being too strong at a onesie position in particular is not the best thing to have because you're going to have a lot of guys, you might have one of your tight ends score 15, and the guy scores 13 and 12, and you end up not flexing any of them because the other guys go off, and you're just having those guys in your bench. Or you might have your RB2 might have like 7 or 8. That's the only thing about being too strong at a onesie. But it's a good team. You've had better, though, Mal. Come on, you've had some bangers. This is a good team, though. But, I mean, better than the team I just drafted, I'll say that. Yeah, this was a bad night for me drafting. I mean, they're not the worst teams in the world, but I have higher hopes than these mediocre teams, I guess you'd call them. Dakota Hawkinson will be 29 to start the season. He hasn't done anything since he left Detroit after 2022. Injuries have taken away his skill set. Dakota, no, he had a 95 catch season. So his first year in Minnesota, I think he got traded. Was it traded midseason? Either way, 2023 was when he tore his ACL. He played 15 games, 95 catches. Just he never catches touchdown. That's always been the knock on TJ Hawkinson. But he had 95 catches, and then that was 2023 was the major injury, multi-ligament stuff, similar to Javonte Williams' injury. And then since then, he hasn't done. He came back too early in 24. He came back like week 10, and like I said, the injury happened week 15. And with that major of an injury at tight end, like I feel like he came back too early because they were a pretty relevant team. They were Kirk Cousins, like 7-3 at the time, 6-4. Came back too early. And he's never been the same. Now maybe he's cooked. My thing is why I love him is he can still be cooked and be a Dalton Schultz or a Jake Ferguson. And with Kyler Murray, with an ascending offense, with what we think is going to happen with O'Connell and Kyler Murray, and the lack of running back depth there and no one that really stands out and not a great wide receiver room outside of Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, he could be the fourth target in this offense, third target in this offense, check down city, and with Kyler Murray's skill set, have 70 catches. With his ADP, he doesn't need to have a great year to be like an awesome steal, right? 2022 was the trade, his last good season. So 23, 24. I got to look this up. I feel like, let's see, TJ Hawkinson. I feel like it was, 2023. He had 95 catches for 960 yards and 5 touchdowns. 2024, 40. It's when he came back halfway through the season, 41 catches, 455, no touchdowns, which was crazy because that was only in like 7 games, and that's pretty good volume, and like 41 catches, 455 yards, but no touchdowns. And then last year was a cooked year, 51 catches, 438 yards, and 3 touchdowns in a full season. Rough. I don't know. I have no idea why he wasn't a Pro Bowler, but that was his last healthy season. I've never been a big Hawkinson guy, but I just feel like the hate is like people have just written him off, and like those are the guys we need to target. That are people writing off value, dude, because there's no risk, right? Like you just drop him if it doesn't look good. If Kyler's not good, if he's looking the same shitty, that crazy route he ran where he juked himself out, things like that, dropping passes, then you just drop him. No worry, it's no risk. I got to the finals that year with him, but didn't have him in the finals. Again, 5 touchdowns, but that was a good year. 95 catches for a tight end is elite stuff. You go back to the Lions years, a lot of, 65 catches for 700 yards, 6 touchdowns, 61 for 604 touchdowns. Not great stuff. Marred by injuries and just not a special player by any means. Team Money has a good feeling about the Raiders' running game this year. I do too. I have a good feeling about the Raiders in general, not their win-loss record, but just being a professional run organization, right? They don't even like to start Hawkinson every game. It's wild. Well, they have no one else, though, dude. It's Oliver, and they're going to have to. I mean, he's an underrated blocker for sure, Mouth. I would say he's an underrated blocker. And I don't want to be the TJ Hawkinson guy because I've also been, as of 3 weeks ago, been the guy actively just ripping on him and writing him off like everyone else, right? So, sometimes we live and learn. Something hit me, and it felt like a good thing. I don't know. And there's just no risk. I love the no risk players. There's just nothing there. The Temu Kittle. Temu's terrible. I got some stuff from Temu here and there. And like sometimes they give you the offer to like you buy 4 things, you get a 5th thing free, or you got to spend a certain amount of money to get like free shipping and get like $10 off your order. So I got these like slippers from Temu, dude. I threw them out within a minute. I tried them on. It was literally like felt on cardboard. So it was like the worst. They were super cheap, but like it was like, I feel like I could make better slippers with like household appliances. Just awful. But they have some pretty decent shit actually. If like, it's cheap, but like you can get some good values there. Like you said, you get TJ Hawkinson is Temu. That's what we're going to call him on the show. He's Temu now. Nice call, Jake. Appreciate that. Yeah, Dakota, I noticed that too. 11 starts in 15 games. And that's the year he had. He only played 15 games, right? 11 starts, 95 catches. So it's like he must have played all those snaps. He just wasn't on the field the first play or something. That's a good call, Mouth. The fucking guy that mispronounced everyone's name, the Temu fantasy host. That is the fantasy football counselor, guys. He is the Temu fantasy host. Yeah, but you didn't know he calls it the #1 fantasy show on YouTube, which is hilarious. Team Money, I'm worried about Saquon this year. I am not worried at all. Saquon is one of my most comfortable draft picks I have in best ball and will be in redraft as well. Middle of the 2nd round. He's going to catch, I want to say twice as many passes, which would be 66. Or no, he had 37 last year and 33 the first year. So I feel like he's going to catch 55 passes. And he's going to be more efficient on the ground. The offense will be better. I'm all in on Saquon. Team Money, what are your concerns about Saquon? We have a little bit of time left in the show. I'll answer a couple more comments. What are your worries about Saquon this year in particular? Oh, Dakota, you've heard of him. I wonder if I have a clip. I like this clip.
Look at this. This is Laurence Olivier in Othello. And this is James Earl Jones. Now look at how close they look.
Look at that. James Earl Jones doing a great blackface.
James Earl Jones has a black face. He's a black man.
He's not black. James
Of course
Earl
he's
Jones-
black.
He was Darth Vader.
Darth Vader was black?
No,
See, okay, there we go.
Darth Vader was not black. They took the mask off. He was white.
It's probably a good thing, Dakota. I mean, he's got 100,000 subscribers and just gets views, but it's bad. It's just bad all around. His shtick is that he likes to mispronounce people's names. He calls Tyler Shuck Tyler Show. He calls A-Chain a Chen. That's his thing. He thinks it's funny because he knows the English language better than, and the English language is the hardest language in the world, especially with names. It's super hard to pronounce names. Like, they're always spelled wrong. Like, not spelled like they sound, right? And, like, I think this guy knows how to pronounce his fucking name, is my point. Team Money, my concerns are O-line. He won't have space to run. Well, that was the issue last year. And the O-line was not bad, though. It was bad for the Eagles. The Eagles, Jalen Hurts, this is the Jalen Hurts thing. They're always used to a top 5 O-line. It was more middle of the pack. It was a schematic thing last year, for sure. It was no creativity. It was just run up the gut, which worked the year prior. And it was a little more creative the year prior, but it worked the year prior because the O-line was just moving people, not last year. And I feel like the O-line will be better, not back to where it was in 23, but better. The scheme will be better. They're going to run the pistol like Mouse says, which makes a lot of sense. And it's just Saquon Barkley, guys. Like, it's Saquon Barkley. I don't know. I feel like middle of the second round is just free. All right, gentlemen. Tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Central, me and Storey, fantasy football mysteries. We're going to dive into all these kind of things, deep mysteries, things that burning questions, stuff we don't know, talk about it, how it's going to affect the landscape of that team, all those kind of things. And then Thursday is going to be a great show. That's Nico and that's Mike Storey, the real dynamic duo that used to be on this program every single show for a year and a half. Have not had them on together in literally almost 2 years. So going to be awesome to have those two back together. And that's going to be the NFL schedule release, which is going to be awesome to dive into that and actually look at some fantasy playoff schedules and just in general talk about some teams. Like last year, the Chiefs had, they played on 6 days of the week. They had a game in Brazil. They played on Christmas. They played, Thanksgiving. Like, that's tough. And we're going to go through all those kind of things and with a fantasy spin on it too. So going to be a great show. May 27th, Carlos Jimenez, voice of LA Clippers on Downtown Sports. Tune in for that too. That is in 2 weeks, guys. You'll see that in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you're not in the community, hop in, go to the website, go to the link in the description, professionalfanatics.com. Join some redrafts with us. Draft best ball with us like we're going to be doing for the next couple months. And just join the community. It's a great community. I appreciate everybody in the community watching all these shows, listening to me ramble, draft some shitty-ass teams. We'll do better. We'll do better the next time we draft. I promise you that. Dakota, great teams. Had a couple good teams there. Mouth had a hell of a team. He didn't get in the draft with us. There were some really good teams. Jake, your team was awesome. It was a good time. So who else did we have drafting with us? So who was it? Our boy Keith. Sorry, I forgot your name, Keith. Keith, who drafted with us. We appreciate that. Was a great time. So we'll see you guys tomorrow on the flip side. Mike Storey, fantasy mysteries coming at you. Other than that, I'll talk to you guys in the Discord. Continue the show after the show. You know how we do around here. Love your life, stay positive, and respect each other.
You seem like a good dude. I thought I'd see if you wanted to grab a beer, that's all. I'm glad you called. We get home safe, Pistol.
You got it, Jobin.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing.
Oh, what'd you say?
I don't know. You nicknamed me Pistol, and I just called you Jobin. It means nothing. I'm drunk. I'm gonna call a cab.
All right, man. You have my number, yeah?
I got you stored in my iPhone.
All right, if you